What's up, guys? So my name is Doc. Last year I filmed my first movie. It was all about myself. I went up against madness. This time's going to be very different. It's going to be more of a update. And then I'm actually going to talk to. I'm going to talk to Madness, sit him down. He doesn't speak. He does write. And all that stuff. I'm going to talk to him about the big shocking reveal that everyone was talking about. That is, I'm actually his biological father. His actual father. First, an update. How I'm doing, how everything has been going. With number 8, Madness, man. I'm going to specifically talk about the man Madness. Get a little away from number 8 for now, and just speak about that. I've been good. I've been learning more about my powers, all that stuff. Because the other doctor, Dr. Shadow, who's the one that created all the liquids in this entire city, and he's the first supernatural person in the entire city, and then he, made Shadow supernatural. And now about only 3 people at the mansion are supernatural. It's myself, Toby, and I don't know, that's it. Oh shit, that's it. The big thing that I discovered from all these years of watching the neighborhood, watching Madness Man and all that stuff, and now becoming supernatural, what I learned is that I need to get as close as I can to Madness, speak to him. Because since he escaped in 92, which is now, it's crazy, it's been 44 years now since that happened. Since that happened, we haven't really sat down at all. We've had maybe a conversation or two, but we never actually sat down and just spoke to each other. So back to Dr. Shadow. So I can now turn invisible on command. I can now, with Toby, we're now starting to find out that there are ways to get rid of certain powers. I want to do that to Madness so that I can stop him, at least, doing all these insane amount of kill counts. I mean, It's been 5 years since he turned supernatural. In the previous, if you count the thing that he did in 92, 2017 up until 5 years ago, so it would have been 2031. In all those years combined, he killed around 250 to 260 people. Since then, he's killed over 300. And that's just in the last 5 years. At this rate, he's going to get to 1,000. And that's just obvious. But our goal is to make sure that that does not happen. What you can't cure, though, is eczema with the supernatural liquids. I wish, but eczema is killing me right now. So I have these bandaged up. I mean, it's good that, I'm a doctor. I have other people that worked here. I mean, Brandon before number 8 took them. Before that time, we had enough medical people to help each other out, but now it's kind of split. I've been also trying to understand my powers, understand how I got these powers, how it's even possible, and all that stuff. And with Dr. Shadow's help, as Toby said last month, Dr. Shadow was a dick at first. Now he's very helpful. Without him, we would not have been able to at least shock number 8 and actually technically win. When all of us, Mansion and the meeting's house came together and tried to stop him. But now, I'm understanding that, the blue liquid is what turns people supernatural. I got that. I have these other powers, like the gray liquid that turns me invisible, the tan and gray that turns me invincible, and also Toby and I are trying to possibly give each other blood samples and see if we can have the same exact powers, just given to someone else. Dr. Shadow just created a new liquid that can turn regular people into supernatural for around 20 minutes, which is going to be very helpful. Later on, when we have a huge idea, like right now we're thinking of putting number 8 in this supernatural prison. That's specifically designed to keep supernaturals locked in. But that's much later. The main thing is the man and the man's man both have one thing in common. No matter how much they hate each other, they're just intertwined with each other. Everything big that has ever happened in this city has had something to do with the both of them. I blame myself. Sometimes I have my own guilt towards myself, letting him escape. But if I didn't, then even more people would have been killed that night. I blame myself for that. I blame myself not coming to the neighborhood sooner. I didn't come into the neighborhood until 2030. I blame myself that in those 13 years that he came back in 2017, I didn't even try to come. I was just like the person just watching from a crowd in the stands, as a spectator and all that stuff. And I blame myself a lot for that. A lot of people told me, don't blame yourself. I mean, you can't blame yourself. How could you have known all this? And that's true, but the problem is that I never stopped even when I could have. But I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to understand why, ever since he escaped, why is it he had to come back and he just kept on going? Is it because of the man? I think yes and no. I think that Madness doesn't like that the man was seen as this, like, the first serial killer, first, like, person that committed all these murders in a very small space of time, when Madness did it years before he ever did it. I mean, Madness in one night, it took him almost 15 years to even match them. Madness didn't like that. I think that has to do at least something with it. Not all of it, just some of it. I've been also, everyone at the mansion has been going against since the very beginning, since he came back, as like Nick, Mike, myself. There's only 3 of us left. Now that we live at the mansion, it's not really 3 of us anymore. It's not really one set group that goes up against Madness. It's everyone that goes up against Madness. But one thing that Madness will have that we never will is a supernatural army. Dr. Shadow has said that the only way that we could have a supernatural army is if we kill someone. And, you know, since I became supernatural, it doesn't matter how much I stop it. At some point, the supernatural powers will take over me and kill someone. Now, it would be cool if we were able to put that for our own army. But the problem is that we will never get to that level of Madness. Madness has almost 100 people in his supernatural army now. We have 0. And if we started now, we did it as hard as we could, we would not be able to kill that many fast, because Madness would probably find out and just kill a bunch of them. When I found out that everyone knew about Madness being my son, I never wanted to, at first I didn't know. First I didn't know that Madness was my son, because I never met the parents and all that stuff, and they were dicks anyways. But when they showed me some stuff on him, on his file, that's when I realized, oh shit, Madness is my son. I kept that a secret for a very long time. I found out in '85, so 1 year after. I had my suspicions at first, but 1 year after he came in, I looked at that file. I put it off for so long, so many months. I've been knowing for 51 years now. It's 2036 now. That Madness is my son. I kept keeping that a secret until last year. It took 54 years for someone to find out that Madness was my son. But I think that Madness, what do you do here? You're overhearing? Why don't you sit down? I was gonna call you or text you to come over here because I wanted to talk to you. Now madness to Doc, Doc to madness. Father and son. Is that okay? Alright. So I guess I'm gonna start this now. I've known that you've been my son for 55 years. I know that you have questions and all that stuff, so I want to answer them all. My wife died. She gave birth to you. This is well before I became a doctor. The stress was too much. Losing her, I didn't want to, like, not give everything for you. Without doing anything that would change that. I wanted to make sure that when I had kids, which I never did after that, at least I don't think, I made sure that whenever I did have kids and I was able to, I wanted to make sure that it was when I could take care of you and put everything I could in taking care of my kid. When you were born, I just wasn't able to. So, I'm sorry. That's why I've never tried to kill you before. That's why I never once tried that ever. Because I knew deep down that if I did, I would be killing myself. But is there any questions you have for me? But before you ask me, I want to ask you a question. Did you ever find out that I was your father? You had your suspicions, but you never knew until last year? When did you first have your suspicions? When you were 16? So 3 years after you came to the asylum? Do you have any questions for me? Why didn't you tell me? Well, as with many things, by the time I wanted to, it was too late. By the time I wanted to come clean with everything, tell you who I was, tell you everything and anything, you were already gone. I found out when you were 14 that you were my son. And for the next 7 years, there were so many opportunities that I wanted to. They came very close, but I didn't know how to say it. So I just waited. And by the time I did, it had already been over 50 years, and I had gotten over it. I had totally forgotten. Except when any time Now Nick and Mike have both said that now they know why anytime I would say, no, we can't kill him, make an excuse. They now know why. And all that stuff. I'm sorry. What I didn't do. I should have just told you right from the beginning. Would have changed anything? No. Because if I would have told you and someone would have found out, I would not have been able to be at the asylum with you, because it would have been like against medical wishes and all that stuff. Were you ever close to killing me? No. I understand why you wanted to escape and all that stuff. I understand why you did all this stuff and all that, but there comes a point when it becomes way too much. I don't understand why you just have to keep on going. You could have just stopped after that night. You could have come back. No one would have recognized you. It would have been so long. But have I ever tried to kill you? No. Have I ever tried to stop you? Yes. I'm just gonna be honest, that's what I'm doing right now. The only reason why I became supernatural is because I want to understand you. I understand why you are supernatural. I understand how. And try and take away some of your power so you aren't killing in these buckets and buckets and buckets of kill counts and all that stuff. Suddenly you have to stop. There has to be a time when you have to stop. I understand you have to always try and one-up the man. But even the man is starting to turn around. I won't kill you and you won't kill me. I understand that. But you have to understand that I have to keep everyone safe. I have to keep you safe and to keep everyone else safe too. If that means take away some of your powers, and that's what exactly I have to do. I just want you to understand. I'm not like the parents that put you in that asylum. I'm not like that. I never will be. I would never force you to do something that you don't want to do. But you have to stop. Since you're supernatural, you do have to kill. I understand that. But not this amount. At least try to promise me that. Right. Do you have any more questions before I wrap this up? You don't have any more questions? Alright, I have one last question. Why do you keep on doing this? Is it because of the man? Or is it because of your adopted? What is it? Is it both? Like, why now? Why? What's the reason now? What's the reason now you keep on doing this? Why? It's the man. Why? Why is the reason the man? Why? Oh, the man and number 8, because they're number 1 and number 2 and you're number 3. You want to be number 1. So basically it's just a contest with you. You want to keep on doing this because now what happens when number 8 gets put into that supernatural prison? What happens when the man possibly gets put in there? Then what? Do you stop? You do. Interesting. Alright. By his son. He left. So that is it. Other things told in this movie. A lot of things were explained and all that stuff, and I'm glad. What I now know is madness is reason. And all I need is to find a way to make sure that the man and number 8 get put into that supernatural prison, so that madness can finally stop. At least for a while. At least until they get out. So that's it. So make sure to like, subscribe. I'll talk to you guys when I get a chance to make Doc 3.